December has been a month. It has been a challenge to meet the goals that I set forth this year. It has been a month of growth in so many different ways. And I'm excited to dig into it in this December 2024 Notes to Self. If you're looking for bookish content, this is probably not the video for you. I go through kind of what I've learned on YouTube over the course of the previous month, talk a little bit and reflect upon the ways that my channel is changing and evolving. So if you're looking for bookish content, I'm going to recommend a different video because this one's probably not it. So I'm Nick, this is Dr. Cranky Pants Reads, and I'm excited to talk about some changes. So, yes, it is December 26th as I'm recording this, and I am tired. I am so tired. Feeling a little crispy. Feeling a little crispy. So there have been so many things that have happened this month. So many things that have changed my YouTube game this month. I'm excited to talk about them, and I hopefully will be coherent about them. I have my notes in my bullet journal. And first things, let's talk about numbers. Numbers are fairly easy to talk through. When we last talked in November, I had 12 long form videos. By the time that this goes up, this will be my 19th long form video. So that's an addition of 7. So I'm averaging 6 or 7 every month, which is nice. Here's where some changes have happened. In terms of shorts, I ended November with 55 shorts. I currently have 122. So I have added 67 shorts to my library. And that right there is why I am exhausted. So we'll talk more about that in a second, but I'm currently at 122 by the end of the month. All of them are finally scheduled, and I've got, those 19 long forms. In terms of viewers, I had 82 when we last talked in November. I currently have 205. I still can't. I'm still having a hard time processing that, quite honestly. Like I had a community post about reaching 100, and then Evening Reader shouted me out in a video, thank you. And yeah, it just 205. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for subscribing and watching and doing things. I am flattered and humbled and just emotionally like affected. Don't tell my therapist that I just said I was emotionally affected without actually naming an emotion. But I seriously don't have, I'm still processing this. I'm still processing this because it just seems like something I've started doing for fun and started doing to think through learning some new skills. And so the fact that there's 205 subscribers just is awesome and amazing. And like, I now have certain, like, I'm to the point now where we're 3 months into this, right? Like this is month 3, and I've got certain folks who comment on every video or different shorts, and we've got some ongoing conversations across videos that I really enjoy. And so I've got some voices in my head as I am planning and as I am filming and as I am editing about, like, y'all are in my head, which is cool. I didn't know that that would happen in the same way that it happens when I'm writing an academic article and I'm trying to keep the voices of the editors in my head, and I have y'all, I have your voices in my head for those of you who have had interactions with me. It's been really cool, but also a little freaky. I'm trying to keep in mind that, like, yes, it is about a give and take, but also, like, what are you doing that brought them to your channel in the first place, and just trying to balance that out. Also, I've got to say that going from 82 to 200 in, I don't know, what, 3 weeks? I mean, it was maybe 2 weeks, really, from that 100 to 200. It was a ride. It was a mess in my head, because I went from, like, a really steady gain of, like, maybe 1 to 2 subscribers every day. Some days would be 0, but most days would be like 1 or 2. And so when you gain so many subscribers so quickly, when you go back to, oh, you're getting 1 or 2, you're like, oh, I'm only getting 1 or 2. And then I was like, wait, I'm still getting 1 or 2. Like, that's still really cool. But your brain chemistry, like the like pleasurable pings in your brain of, like, oh, people are subscribing, and then I had to kind of recalibrate. So there's the, oh my gosh, 205 subscribers. That's a lot. It feels like a lot. As someone who's keynoted in front of, like, 500, like, that's almost half the auditorium. That's a lot of people. Like, pleasure receptors in my head of, like, oh, you have new subscribers. And then when it went back to what it normally has been, it was like, oh, what am I doing wrong? Nothing. You're still growing. Knock it off. Stop. So that was interesting. Having to keep myself, like, I think if you're a maker and you experience those spurts, you're always kind of chasing those spurts. And I am so thankful to Evening Reader for giving me that shout out. It was super nice, super kind. And she tagged me as well, and that's coming as well. But thinking through that, so I'm trying to wrap up my notes to myself editing and realize that my computer ran out of literal hard drive storage and cut me off halfway through the video. How I did not notice this before is beyond me. It's the holidays, so I've not been operating at full brain capacity. I'm going to finish up my thinking, having gone over numbers. Here's where I stand in terms of what my goals are for January. It is January 2nd as I am filming this second half. And some of the things that I was working on in December were the 2 shorts every single day. And I think that was a really interesting experiment. Would I do it again? Maybe. Probably not during December, and probably not when, like, tons of stuff is going on. But it got my channel out to a variety of different people, and just some stars aligned. I also got really good at batching and processing, because I had 64 shorts that I had to produce in addition to the long form. I don't regret that piece of it at all. It was a lot of work. It pushed me to think through what I can do and how much time I need to do it in, which brings me to long form and thinking about long form differently. When I look at my numbers, I'm still getting quite a few folks who are resonating with the shorts, but my long form is also starting to get more of an audience. I want to strike more of a balance. Some of the things that I want to play with in terms of editing, I need a longer kind of canvas in order to make that happen. And so I'm making the choice to move into 2 long form videos a week, and I'm going to cut back on shorts and just do 1 a day. I did that for the month of November, and that felt really doable. And the amount of time that it takes to create 31 different shorts, how I can create and produce 4 long forms of around 15 to 20 minutes in less time. So, and have more of a canvas to play with. I've kind of got, in terms of my goal of getting my long form game together, I've got a better sense of some buckets I can put things in and a balance between one video that's going to really take some energy and some others that are varying levels of energy. I'm gonna play around with Tag Tuesdays. When I post on Tuesdays, they'll be in response to some tags that I'm just gonna jump in on and see how it goes. I've got a tag from Evening Reader that I need to finish up. End of year tag in like late January. It's hopefully gonna make sense. We're gonna see. We're gonna see if I can make it make sense. I've got a plan. So we'll see how that goes. And then I'm continuing to experiment with process. And part of that experimentation is I need longer videos to experiment with. It's been a really good month. I also had some technological changes this month where I had to replace my phone because my phone was freezing for like hours. So I did buy a new iPhone, hence why it might seem like the video is a little higher quality. And then as I was trying to think through how to make my processes, my editing processes more efficient, sound was a thing that I needed to pay some attention to. I did go buy the DJI microphones. I was lucky enough to find an open box at my local Best Buy. That made them a little less costly, but it did improve the number of minutes, hours, etc. that it takes me to sync audio. It's also created some problems. I've needed to figure out some additional stuff. I had some shorts that were going out with only 1 channel of audio. I got those fixed. Goals for January, short every day. It's January 2nd. I don't have as many shorts banked as I would like. In fact, at this point in time, I have no shorts banked, which everyone has left for the evening to go to various events. And so I am alone. And I thought this would be a good time to like figure all this out. So that's what I'm doing. Getting some shorts banked, long form, Tag Tuesdays, and then on Thursdays will be something kind of thematic. I've got that somewhat worked out. I've got a couple of really, for me, fun things. I don't know that they're gonna be fun for y'all. If you've watched to this point, thank you so much. As always, I appreciate you, and I hope life is good. I've got a slightly different thing we're gonna try next month for Notes to Myself. So I will see you there.